Welcome to the Revved-Up weekend how-to. Today we're going to cover how to change a fan belt on a car. Now the reason we're doing the how-to series is that a lot of people cannot afford to buy a brand new car with a service plan. As a result, there are a lot of older cars on the road, some of them dating back to the 70s. Now this is a problem if you don't know how to service a car yourself, because maintaining a car is not an easy job. So we're going to help you out with this. Now before you can change a fan belt on your car, you do need a spare fan belt. What you can do is go down to your local Midas dealership and get them to come out with you to determine the make and model of your car, and also make sure that you get the right fan belt for your car. Something else you'll need is a tool. You'll need a 13mm spanner or half-inch spanner. And something else that I recommend that you get is a box of disposable latex gloves. Gloves are great to keep grease off your hands and also give you good feedback. Now it's very important to know that before you touch anything under your car with the spanner is that your car might have a service plan or still be under warranty. If that is the case, if you touch your car or change anything on your car or certain items of your car, that warranty or service plan may become null and void. So always check with your dealership before you touch anything on your car, do any maintenance yourself. Now to open the bonnet of your car, you'll pull the bonnet release catch. This will open the bonnet just a fraction. Now most cars have this little safety catch over here, which is there to stop your bonnet from getting ripped off your car by oncoming wind if you accidentally pull it while you're driving. Now what you need to do is stick your finger in between the bonnet and the bodywork of the car. Push that lever in, which will release this catch, and then you'll be able to open it up. Now this is the engine of your car. So what you need to do before you get started is put on your gloves and also identify where the fan belt is in the engine bay. So it's the thing that looks like the thing that you bought from the place with the car spares. Now this is a Jetta Mark II, so the fan belt is located over here next to the alternator. And when somebody talks about alternator, that's what they're referring to. Now the first thing I like to do is put on my gloves so I don't get my hands dirty, because as you can see there's a lot of grease inside the engine bay, particularly on older cars. Your car might not look as dirty as this, but if it's an old car, chances are it's very dirty inside here. Now the first thing you need to identify is where is the fan belt in the car. Now the fan belts usually attach to the alternator and your water pump of your car. This is your alternator. Now your alternator of your car is driven off of the fan belt, which is this little belt over here, via a pulley. And then underneath this, which you can't really see from this angle, is your water pump, which circulates the water through your engine. If your fan belt snaps, basically your battery is not getting a charge from the alternator and your engine isn't cooling because there's no water flowing through the motor. So it's critical that your fan belt is in good condition. Now what you can do firstly is you need to take the tension off of this belt. To do that, you use your 13mm spanner or half-inch spanner. You loosen the bolt off. Now these bolts might be really tight, so you might have to put a bit of elbow grease in there to loosen these off. Now the reason we loosen off this bolt is that it holds the alternator on this tensioner rail. Now this tensioner rail allows your alternator to move forwards and backwards, and the bolt holds it in place and locks it in position. So we've loosened it off so we can move the alternator and take some of the tension off this belt. In this case we need to slide the alternator forward. In other cars you might slide it up. But yeah, so let's just slide it forward and take the tension off the belt. See, the fan belt's nice and loose here now. So what we can do is pop this old one off over the pulley. Again, might take a bit of elbow grease to get that off. And voila, done. What I can see from this belt is that there's a bit of burn marks, this like sort of glossy area on the belt, which tells me this belt was slipping a bit. Might have been stretched from age, and it's a good thing that we're going to replace this one. Another clear indication of a very worn out fan belt is if you bend it the other way. If there are any cracks inside the teeth of the fan belt, that's useless, you might as well throw it away. Now what we're going to do is remove the packaging from the old fan belt, and then we're going to fit it. What you have to do is loop it over the outside of these pulleys. So we slide it in, just very gently hook it in. You might have to get underneath your car, it depends on your configuration and if there's other stuff that might be in the way. So there, we've just about got it hooked over. Just need to hook it around the water pump now, and that's it. Excellent. There, the new fan belt is in place and we're ready to put tension on it again. Now, as you can see, the fan belt's loose, so we can do the reverse of what we did before. We're actually going to lift the alternator up, and in doing so, on the rail, on the tensioner rail, is basically putting tension on the belt. Lift this up. There we go. Again, this might be a bit heavy. It's always good to get a nice footing so you don't slip and fall and hurt yourself. There we go. Now there's tension on the belt, that's nice and tight, and we start tightening the bolt again. Alright, well that's a wrap. Fan belt is fitted, and congratulations if you've just done this yourself. So what we just need to do is when you fire up the car is to listen out for any high-pitched squeaking noises. Now if you're hearing a high-pitched squealing noise when you just start up the engine and it's cold, it might be that your fan belt is still a bit loose, and if that's the case, all you need to do is put some more tension, loosen off that bolt, put a bit more tension on that belt and tighten it up again, and we're done. And this concludes the Revved-Up Weekend How-To.